ready to go for you. Lyngby, they're going to be in serious trouble for my money if they don't get off to a good start. They really have to. In the first 10 rounds, let's say, I'm looking for at least 5 or 6 out of Lyngby. If they can't contest that early on, I feel like Endpoint can just trample them with the momentum.
Also, it is Vertigo. It's a map bridge. I'm not going to say it's new to the map pool. We're used to it all at this point. It's the newest one in the pool, but it's one which Endpoint and lots of UK teams in the past have certainly been working and trying to push forward in terms of a map in general. If you've got the experience, you can certainly look to build off of it. Lyngby, so much work in these early stages, and you're right, they've got to get a good 5-6 rounds starting this one off, I feel.
Now, the silver lining for Lyngby heading forward into this map is that while Endpoint over the last 3 months have had a good degree of success on Vertigo, much more recently, they've been struggling in this map. 4 out of their 5 maps played here on Vertigo for Endpoint of the last 5 have been losses. So they'll be looking to try and turn the tide a little bit here, try and put a stop to this poor run of form on the map. And the Lyngby Vikings, based on historical evidence, have the opportunity to win out here, but based on the series so far, they might be in trouble. Good opening kills towards the A site. Bird looking to convert. He'll get 2. Robin will reply at least with 1, but in the 2-on-2 now, Lyngby, they still have to get the bomb down.
Well, the trade kills or the opening kills just had to be there for Lyngby, and now you've got to be careful for your Robin because you've got a kit, you've got no armor, and you're on 3 HP. So if you peek deadly at the wrong time into Bird, then it could be your death. But for now, Haid, well, it was expected to happen. You've got a full health, well, reasonably full health Surreal. Now looking to deny the bomb plant. It won't happen. Cabby gets that down. Now looking for the one-on-one Angels. That was a crisp opening shot at least, but your opponent now running away means you could certainly try and fake out this defuse. You've got a kit, so you've got a bit more time. Surreal now looks for the last little effect of damage. To deny a 4K for Bird, and it just about works out Endpoint's way.
Surreal has been landing the headshots so far in this series, and the pistol round of Vertigo is no different story for him. Endpoint pick up their first pistol round win of this series so far, and now we get to see the odds from our betting partners over at LootBet. You see them swinging greatly into Endpoint's favor with that pistol round victory. Even better odds to beat Lyngby here than there were over on Train. I don't know whether I agree with that. I wouldn't call Endpoint a stronger Vertigo team than a Train team, but the Lyngby Vikings have been struggling so far. Cabby finds a kill, but Robin, he'll get one straight back with the MP9.
That is the advantage for the T side. You've got AKs and really good rifles to work with, and it really has been a decent buy and a decent start from the Danish point of view. Bird from Sky, the player takes some early damage, but they find the 2 kills over towards B. They get that initial start, and now to maybe group up towards the side of the map wouldn't be a bad call necessarily. 2NX gets the bomb. And now 3 players will look out towards B stairs. 1 also supported them in mid. Leaves Crucial now in quite a sticky situation with a minute and some smokes now to maybe block off the back wall.
Sticky situation indeed. Thomas needs to still be careful from mid. There is a player in the form of Rals lurking over there. 2NX has found the first kill in the B bomb site though. Typos has converted the second, and the Force taken straight back by Lyngby. Is this the repeat of what we saw on Train? Endpoint now with the choice to force up, and they do just that with the pistols. Battle of the Forces once again, but it's much worse weaponry than they had to use in their Force of Train.
Well, they're down to pistols more or less. It's not ideal. You've got armor on most of the players to support it, so the Eagle headshots and maybe some Danish deaths for Lyngby on a much more favourable buy. Shouldn't be losing too much here. Thomas finished the opening map of Train with 22 kills. For now, Surreal will play things safe, and you can respect the safer call, but you've got to be careful really Off the side angle, the Molotov there towards Sandbags is a relief of clearance. But he's got to clear the angle. Thomas! Oh, him is crucial. In fact, come off better for two of them.
That's nightmarish from the Lyngby Vikings. They can't even convert either player. Even on 3 HP, you can still land a lucky headshot, and that's what's so dangerous about those Deagles. 3 players from Lyngby Vikings. They've got to find a way back into the round. They've got smokes, they've got flashes, practically all the utility they could want. The issue is going to be clearance. The bomb dropped on the ramp has to be recovered. It's in a safe enough place that they can do so. And with 50 seconds left on the clock, if they lose one player on the way in, it's still a high-pressure situation for them up against the Pistols.
Let's see what the Pistols really can deliver. Just looking to hold on to this A site. Lyngby should easily enough get a bomb plant, and it's not contested, so Nate does damage, but doesn't quite find the kill. So a retake where, for the UK squad, damage and a man advantage is their ideal outcome. Flash in. And they don't have any kits. I said it's 4 players and they've got 5, but Thomas on 1 HP. Such a threat. Cabby gets 1. Cabby gets 2. Light work found of the Pistols with Robin so far, finding the only endpoint kill back.
Not enough time here for the UK guys to work with. They've got to back out. Draw Lyngby in for as long as you can. Hopefully some of them die to the bomb, but they don't take enough damage. Endpoint can't convert the force this time. Now they have to take the eco and afford Lyngby the early advantage in the half. You'll expect them to get 3 off the back of this one as Endpoint eco forward and look for the full buy in round 5.
Well, this is where the loot bet odds were certainly suggesting Lyngby had a chance. And this is where we feel that they had to come off better in these early stages just to get that momentum, the money, and that boost of morale with you in the opening stages. Tyrell looks towards mid. Bird from Sky and his team start off in quite a standard default, 1 in middle. And this one guy in middle is going to be challenged by a couple of aggressing Pistols. Goodbye, Rouse. That's an AK that Endpoint can now recover, and they might speed up this play and might even look for the bomb. And with Cabby now falling, it means that Endpoint could have a chance, but they've not quite backed away from the bomb yet.
Thomas has just spotted Twinx, though, picking up the smoke. I don't know if that gave away a sound cue, but Twinx has definitely seen him at this point. Typos in danger in the site. There's a big crossfire up against him. He spotted out Mighty Max, but Robin needs to come and get a kill with the AK. Eventually, the USP can convert. What is going on here? This full eco from Endpoint is already more successful than their force in the last.
New York looks for something back. I said in the earlier map of train that we're in that meta where lots of teams will just keep forcing out, and it might work out. An ace back is a kill by Bird from Sky, and with Twinx finding another, this isn't impossible for him to close out and go on and win, but the bomb on his shoulders needs to find 3 players over towards a stacked A site, crucial towards triple boxes, yet to be spotted out. And if he oversteps and overstays his one, it could be his death. Crucial, in fact, ensures there is no T kills at the end of it.
That's a brutal one to lose if you're the Lyngby Vikings. A full CT eco. 1 Deagle. That was the biggest piece of individual firepower that Endpoint brought into that round. It landed a brilliant opening headshot that found them an AK, then converted a second one perfectly also. That found them a second rifle and really messed up the attack. And perhaps the biggest kill of all was that USTS from Mighty Max. He doesn't fall down. That kill would have been converted either way, but just the fact he's allowed to get it on his own proves that something wasn't quite gelling for Lyngby in that last round. Their economy now suffering with a Mac 10 and Tech 9. Do have an AWP in the hands of Twinx, though.
Some nades in towards mid, just at least tag up Typos. The nades, in fact, down towards B stairs. And Molotov is a slowed PC utility to delay this push, but Lyngby, they might not even look towards the B site. They've got to find an opening kill. They've got to just entry onto the site, and Cabby's going to try and use the smoke really to his advantage and maybe get something. The mid play isn't going to come in either, and they're going to back out. They're going to look towards A, and Endpoint do at least have 1 or 2 players up close looking down ramp, looking for that control.
The question is about these opening fights. Can Endpoint land the shots? Crucial can't. He now has to back away with the AWP. Dumps utility to protect himself, but the Tech-9's hunting him down. He's whiffed another shot with that AWP, but thankfully he's allowed to live. Instead, though, Typos just runs him down with a MAC-10. He's taken out in the late instance, and now it's a 5-on-4 for the Vikings on the A-bomb site. They've planted behind the wall of smokes, converted the AWP. They've now got 2 AWPs defending this bomb retake. Once again, mistakes made from the side that should have the advantage. Endpoint are going to really struggle on this retake.
Well, they got a perfect smoke to just block off the bomb from Twinex's point of view, but they know where it's planted, so they should have a rough idea where to go for the wall bang or the freeze fire at least. And Robin just hasn't been spotted out. He's sticking it. He can get the defuse also. It's a chaotic end with Lyngby finding all the kills, but it's too late to deny that bomb. Endpoint, they come off better, and again, winning a force buy.
Robin just stuck that. Pros do not fake. Apparently that old adage does have some truth to it. And Endpoint, they steal the round away despite losing all of their players. I certainly didn't think that would be a possibility. But after they dropped that one smoke, it was all the room they needed. Double AWPs on the T side for Lyngby up against SMGs might not be the best call because they're not going to take ranged fights anyway. They're going to be looking for these close range off angles. Real found bird from Sky and the MP9 onto Typos. Bomb down towards the B stairs now. Again, Lyngby have lost control of it.
You can't be sending in 2 players like that. It's amazing that Endpoint have been allowed to come off better realistically from that position. Cabby for now just holds mid. Actually, Max gets caught off, so they watch for that plane connector, but Thomas again just strikes it back in their favor. 2-man advantage now recovered. Water bomb isn't quite there. Lyngby, they've got so much more work to do. Not quite a crossfire, but still a kill for Cabby to take control of in mid. That could be a chance to head back towards B where the bomb has been dropped. Endpoint fall back from stairs, but they've still got a crossfire and they've still got a 1-man advantage.
Both players left alive for Lyngby have found 1 kill. If they found 1 more each, it'd be the 2-on-1. Excellent position to try and win from, but not without the bomb under your control. Surreal can drop a Molotov on top of it as well. That's so huge for time pressure in this round that Lyngby might even consider saving here. Twinx definitely suspects there could be a flank coming through. Thomas swings around the corner at the right time and picks him off, and now Cabby's going to push down the stairs with his AK alone. Finds the first headshot, looking for the second, but it's Surreal's FAMAS that gets it done. Endpoint now developing a slightly more firm lead in this map as their economy starts to pad out.
And the economy just isn't there for the Danish point of view. They're going to force out either way because forces have been a key part of how both sides have been winning rounds, not just in Vertigo, but in the entire series in general. So 1 rifle is at least there. But around that, you've mainly got pistols, so a adventurous and a hopeful pull from the Danish point of view, and they in fact delete an AK, so Surreal won't be allowed to do much. The money could have been farmed up. The MP9 got even more, but Thomas on site makes it look easy. The third, in fact, deleted by a USP. To Rouse, and his side's certainly going to regret the force buy. The Eagles got to find a lot more, and all shuts him out. An Endpoint secure 5.
It's a good recovery there from Endpoint. Despite losing the early 2 players, Robin's grenade had the potential for so much, but just gets overwhelmed, and it's Thomas who really recovers there. I mean, if he doesn't find that second kill, Lyngby still have a great chance of converting that round. Thankfully, for Endpoint, he puts a stop to it, and Lyngby are going to be looking for a partial buy in this, but before they do, we can talk about our case partner, Hellcase. You'll never get bored with Hellcase, and use the promo codes on the screen to grab what you deserve. Just the partial from Lyngby. They have 1 MAC-10, but just pistols to support it. Mid-aggression punished already as they look to hunt B, and Robin can only get 1 again. Cabby's found crucial as well into this B bomb site. There's an AWP recovered. Rifles in the hands of Lyngby, and Endpoint, they might have to take a look at this B hold because it looks quite weak.
Well, they've got players still to play with in the retake. They've got utility, and Molotov and an aid could really force damage out of someone, but no one actually gets affected by it. And all these CT players are actually stuck in CT spawn coming out of window also. So they might have a chance to get a bit more control of the site, but they've now got to push in and commit. The AWP deleted. Well, in fact, Cabby now picks up the AWP as the player towards ramp who comes off better, a 2-on-1. And both Endpoint players are tagged up. Robin, he had a kit, but he has to just fall away and save. He gets the kill. But Endpoint sticks and don't even lose anything. Or keep anything.
Yeah, all players going down, unfortunately. Lyngby, off of... these rounds, just minor, minuscule investments, close-range angles and pistols, working out for either side, it seems. 5-3, as the strategies that both teams want to use in their ball gun rounds must be deficient. It's the only answer. How else are these ecos finding the victory? Crucial gets the all-important AWP kill at the start of the round. But it's B that's looked like the weakness for Lyngby, and if Cabby can go up here and get a couple of kills, they can crack into the site very easily.
Oh, Robin. Oh, that was hopeful. He at least gets and wins the opening engagement, so it won't be as much pressure for his teammates now on the site, but Max pretty white. Couldn't really prepare or do a lot there. The SMGs, though, they've done really well. Thomas, in fact, wins it single-handedly with a UMP, an Endpoint force out, and they somehow come off better. Wow, Lyngby, that should have been theirs in the bag, but they don't make it work out, and I wouldn't be surprised if, again, they force out.
Well, I seem to have solved the weakness on this B site for Endpoint, Louis. It turns out all they have to do is just put Thomas over there. 2 rounds now that he's gotten a triple kill on the site, and this time with just a USP after it looked like Lyngby would certainly take the round. They had the advantageous post-plant positions, theoretically, if they could have gotten that bomb down, but the aggression from Thomas just denies anything from Lyngby at all. Robin getting aggressive with the MP9, the wrong call. Cabby finds Max. Cabby as well finds Thomas. And every round that a side has the economic disadvantage, they seem to come out on top.
I'll switch the weapons up, give Twinx on 8 HP a UMP as opposed to an AK. So Endpoint lose the sight of aim. Crucial back in mid. Just keep watch to ensure they're on is really trying to flank or look in from behind, and that nade, if it was on site, that would have been perfect, but Twinx takes no damage in the spray, just about connects near the end of it. Man advantage, only momentarily. Lyngby don't find a kill back, they could have been in trouble, but I think that kill more or less confirms it. Crucial, at least looked for something on the exit. Save the AWP and keep something alive, Lyngby. They won't be able to afford that weapon, but they'll find 4. And they are now starting to regain a bit of lost ground here on Vertigo.
So strange at this point in time that these rounds are being won back-to-back in such crazy fashions. Ultimately, it does tilt in the T-side's favour. This is similar to the Battle of the Forces that we saw at the start of both halves on Train. This one's just been really drawn out on Vertigo. 5 AKs again for the Lyngby Vikings this time. Endpoint, they have an AWP in hand. Robin's full invested into an M4. Thomas and the rest just with pistols and armor, though. But, I mean, historically speaking, if the evidence is correct, they should just win the round because they have the worst guns. That's what's happened so far on Vertigo.
Well, I expect these pistols realistically up close to certainly do some damage. Crucial doesn't find too much, so his impact this round will be minimum, but like I said, the Deagle headshot could certainly be deadly. That's now an AWP you've recovered. And with Lyngby still kept in a 4-on-4, they now look to back out and maybe look towards aim. Surreal was more or less pushed in and kept watch of B stairs, so that for now won't be a concern. Mid is, that's why Robin's checking it out. But the key thing is this A play, and certainly could be a devastating one if Lyngby find all the kills quite quickly.
Thomas in the sight with a 5-7. The pistol that lends itself the most to spam. That deagle damage is excellent on to TwinX and Bird. They're paranoid about the flank at this point, and with time a factor, this could all go wrong for Lyngby. Robin is so aggressive with his M4, playing anti-flash, swings around at the right time, gets a headshot before being found, but that leaves them in the 3-on-3 at the very minimum. Typos hitting the next. Surreal converting though, and Thomas is 5-7. Double dink gets it done. Endpoint, because they had the worst weapons, they win the round. Guess what, Lyngby? If they go ahead and upgrade into deagles and pistols, which they look like they're doing, I'm going to say Lyngby win this one, Louis. For some reason, that's how the universe is treating this game.
I don't even know at this point. I'm just completely confused as to why you can just keep force buying and that somehow wins you rounds and potentially games at this point here. Endpoint won't be too concerned that that's got them 7. One more to maybe close out the half on Lyngby's map pick, but still a map Endpoint have been quite good on in the past. Flash was at least enough to force Thomas somewhat off of the angle. The reflash is there, and Thomas and Endpoint do have to play things safe. It's stacked to the A site, 4 defendants on it. Thomas again is stepping up. He's got 16 kills and only 6 deaths. And there is a player towards Sandbags who is yet to be spotted out by anyone. The Molotov will flush him out. And there's your kill. Well, what should have been Thomas's third kill picked up by Crucial. Typos and Cabby. Well, they've got a lot of work if you want them to win this one, mate.
Finally, it looks like the laws of Counter-Strike are being brought back into balance. Finally, the fourth fight looked to be defeated by Endpoint. Typos goes down. Endpoint survived with 4 alive, but it's Thomas doing the work again. Quad kill in the round. He's on 18 kills already on Vertigo. Compare that to some of the other players on the server like Rals, TwinX, and Mighty Max, who've got 2, 3, and 4 apiece.
No pressure then to the players who haven't woken up, but Mighty Max will now won't be too disappointed. Finally on an M4, and they finally got a full-on CT buyout. Endpoint now look towards 9. Lyngby. It's a half buy. Well, a half buy off pistols. Deep nade. Certainly damaging towards Cabby. But Cabby is towards B. Avoided the Molotov and avoids any potential threat. As Max opens things up on aim. And I think Max is alone on the A up close also. Another bird from Sky has actually pulled in to get that kill back.
Missed AWP shot from Crucial, although he was blind. Gives a little bit of room to the Lyngby Vikings, but Thomas looks to take that space away with his AK. Rals. The P250 hunting for the headshots, but Thomas is an animal on Vertigo. A triple kill in this round, a quad kill in the last round, and the last 2 rounds that Endpoint won before that, he had 2 kills with the 5-7, and he's had already 2 triple kills in the B bomb site. He's going insane, taking over these rounds individually. Now he's on 21 kills, which is almost more than he had in the entire map of Train.
1 more kill and he equals his match in terms of kill numbers on Train. We've not even reached the end of a half yet, and he's already looking towards posting a 30 bomb in this. Lyngby back on the weapons, now have to really fight for Thomas, and timing just meant that Max isn't quite going to get spotted out yet. They will fall away, but they will look for entries, in fact, over towards B. And AK and then 4. 2 players again look to hold this off. Robin, the Surreal, make it once again look so easy. He's hungry. He knows that Cabby is there up close into the Deagle. Might be enough to shut out TwinX and all. Has to find quite a few more players, but a no-scope. It could certainly deliver blood.
Unfortunately, it doesn't on the close angle. And Surreal picks up the kill with the Deagle. 10-4. Double digits guaranteed by Endpoint on the CT side. This is the map pick of the Lyngby Vikings. And based on how the first sort of 10 rounds did go, while Lyngby didn't win the 5 or 6 we said they'd have to if they wanted a chance of the map, they certainly kept it competitive, especially with those fast B site hits.
Crucial, blind and flash off the angle, but nothing to concern him just yet in middle. Lyngby do have 2 players scouting that side of the map as Bird from Sky opens again things up over towards A, and with Max falling first, Malta's tally individually isn't going to improve, but Typos in mid does get 2 kills. Robin, in fact, eliminated as now Thomas, the man of the hour, looks to once again step up. Combined with this orb damage, I don't want to count Endpoint out of this one quite yet. Still a 2-man disadvantage, but now a 3-man disadvantage. Crucial could miss the timing as Lyngby shut out the half with a 5th.
They get it at the very least, but they're going to need the pistol again in map 2 if they want to mount the comeback. Now on train, they were able to convert that second round pistol and bring it a little bit closer, but they weren't able to put it over the line. Thomas on 22 kills. He got it done, Louis. He got more kills in the first half of Vertigo than he got in the entire map of train. And now we can see what our partners over at LootBet think of this game. Endpoint virtually guaranteed to win it according to them, and I can imagine those odds going much more in Endpoint's favour if they win this pistol.
That's the thing for Lyngby, right? Because if you come into this and you lose pistol around here, do you really consider yourself to have a lot more hope into this? There could certainly be a massive comeback, if anything, but for Lyngby, the focus is on this one, and that's where Twinx has been allowed the opening kill of Rouse. They find them over towards A, in fact. Endpoint, they actually upgraded Crucial onto a P250 of armor. It certainly could do the damage, but yet to find any kills yet. Cabby off. He even comes off better. This might have been a flawless round, but Surreal's 2 kills back now means Thomas might have a chance and the B site could be open.
It looks like it is. He's sprinting all the way over there. He might just have time for a safe plant, but obviously he doesn't have that info. Spots the close player, knows he can't plant. Get the pistol out, please. And now it's all about timing. 2 of them pushing into him, but they do find the headshots. He's been great so far, but not good enough to win the pistol on his own. It was nearly recovered by Endpoint there, but Lyngby do eventually take that second pistol. They're not out of the woods yet, though, because you know that force buy is coming in from Endpoint.
Of course it is. It's going to happen on this map. Endpoint upgrade to pistols and a MAC-10 is available on Thomas. Surreal certainly did damage, which kept that a little more tense than it should have been. Lyngby forcing up with a heavy SMG and FAMAS purchase. Utility almost lacking. But smokes for Endpoint mean they can smoke off and set off the wall of smokes for the back of the A site and look for the bomb plant in that side of things. Molotov and aid, a flash also in support and towards the B site, in fact. That was the only player left defending on it. Cabby gets deleted by Surreal.
His Deagle, Surreal's Deagle in this series, lethal. His favourite film, in fact, Lethal Weapon. That's what he is with the Deagle. Insane skill from him at finding those headshots. And Lyngby with a man disadvantage. I think they do spot Crucial out there. They drop the Molotov to try and stall the push, but Riles has already taken a dink. He has to back off. And Twinx also on this site is on less than half HP, so Deagle spam could take him out quite convincingly. There's a MAC-10 as well in the hands of Thomas. That could overwhelm Twinx.
Well, all of a sudden, if you play up close against pistols, that means the pistols can certainly do work. That nade by Robin, massive, because Rouse was one of the defenders left on the site. Bird from Sky is also gone, so they've more or less lost what was on A, but they need to consider Twinx from behind. The SMG only gets 1. What is Surreal doing with the Deagle? Because he's completely insane. He looks for the last, but Crucial takes that one away. They get 11, they win the force. Lyngby, do you consider committing, or... I think they have to. They've got 2 players on double eco. Oh, we're forcing again, mate.
We normally call it the battle of the forces, but it's been the war of the forces in this series, it feels like. And ultimately, with Endpoint winning out virtually every time so far. Lyngby, they've brought the pistols this time. It's their turn to look for those nasty headshots, and they've got want to do it over towards this A bomb site. There are SMGs charging straight in to dismantle them, though. Delayed by the smokes temporarily, but you can ensure that Endpoint are going to be closing down this range just as soon as the utility's dissipated.
Well, there's a Molotov at least thrown off the map. I was watching it on the minimap and just see it fly off the map, and they doesn't do much for damage. Endpoint use up an early bit of utility. slow one with minimal contact. In fact, the contact was crucial. Just finds Rouse through that wall bang, so they were aware of the boost or aware of the possibility. Bird from Sky again deleted. I've seen so many nade stacks that are again going to try to reach, and they don't spot this. They don't find the kill. Oh, it's falling apart, and Thomas and Robin just find the kills.
That's so brutal from the Lyngby Vikings. They had the opportunity there. They just needed patience. The Deagle, I think, a bit spoilt for choice there with targets. Can't focus in time and then panics with the spray. It doesn't go right. The Lyngby Vikings, it looks like they've lost the war of the forces in this round. Endpoint with 12 CTs. They have to eco up into the next. That should give Endpoint their 13th. And at that point, the Danish side are in serious trouble in this series.
They could always force Lyngby keep doing that. I wouldn't put it past them, but this is the point where you just think, right, you have to eco. You've got to be a bit more sensible now with your economic decision making. You're one map down. You're 4 rounds from possible elimination from only the groups here in the Malta Vibes Week 2 event. They've already lost an opening best of 1. Now to lose all your games today wouldn't be the greatest of achievements. So they will eco. They will just play it sensibly. Endpoint, you expect them now to play this safely and slowly on a default. But now there are a lot of players again to set up towards B.
Crucial Robin and Thomas. 3 early kills, dismantling Lyngby yet again. They can't get anything done. B-bomb site now given away. Cabby has a deagle. Robin's on 4 HP. Maybe Bird from Sky can find that with the USPS, but full HP rifling player you certainly don't expect, especially when he's Molotov'd out of his position. Cabby might do the damage, but Surreal says no. The MAC-10 finishing the round off. Endpoint on 13. Lyngby with this buy, it's last chance saloon for them now.
I'm looking at it. I'm not too convinced. They've got an AWP out without any armor. They've got M4s, but look how low their utility levels are. The utility Bird from Sky mainly has. They've got the occasional smoke and flash in it, but now they've got to just build up this bank. They've got to build up the weapons, and they've got to start things off here cleanly to avoid losing weapons. And that's the thing for Endpoint. Even if they lose this with lots of damage done towards Lyngby, then they could force up going forward. So now Robin's so quick to really dismantle what could be a very empty B defense. It's only a FAMAS, and you know what? That more or less could be the site, as long as you find the player up close.
I've got the info on him now. The smoke protects Cabby at least for the moment, but that's now dissipated. He has to be incredibly careful about this T-side advance. Surreal gets the headshot, as he's well known for doing, but 2 players have rotated into this B-bomb site. Do Endpoint have the read on that? They need utility to rotate out this AWP. They want to consider the attack, and Mighty Max, it looks like he wants mid-control. Ral's not actively defending because he's paranoid that this could turn into an A execute now from Endpoint on the T side. Twinx finds Thomas, and crucial, his AWP doesn't convert. Mighty Max causing a distraction, but Twinx's AWP has turned around and found him. This has fallen apart for Endpoint. They just sit around these stairs and allow themselves to be hemmed in by the CTs and picked apart one by one.
Oh, it's a great idea, but just Typos so quick to it. 10 HP onto Real now. I'd love to say he could win this, but it's Lyngby who do kick things off on the second half gun round with a better start to things. Some shots go out, but it might, you know, be a delayed end to this one. Should Lyngby come off better now. 10 HP, 15 seconds.
Surreal sees the barrel, but he can't find the close AWPer. That's the problem. Lyngby put 7 on the board, but Endpoint, they've got to buy right around the corner. Robin's got 10k in the bank even. Plenty of cash for the side. They might even look at a buy up in the next with the loss. Based on the amount some of these players have, the Lyngby Vikings, they need to win 2 in a row to force Endpoint down onto an eco here. Endpoint with 2 opportunities to trash the Danish economy and put themselves 2 rounds away from winning this whole series.
Well, they'll look quickly towards aim. I'm interested just seeing that the AWP for the CT side isn't playing deep towards the A site as you might usually expect. It's playing towards sandbags, so it is in that perimeter, but up close, Rouse just has to be so careful. I'm a little bit concerned for the angle, but he's got a good one, and Max didn't quite spot him out, so for the T side now, just an AWP to really be aware of. No, he doesn't do too much. The AWP even finds the first shot and kill. As Thomas now groups up with Crucial to maybe get a kill back.
Ralls has to stay calm. His position can win the round for Lyngby. If he gets the timing right, Robin on the flank. Should have the info here, but Ralls converts the kill, lands the headshot. Crucial with the AWP gets one back at least. Surreal on the AK has lurked over towards the B bomb site all the way. Had it under control, but Bird takes down Crucial. That's the bomb lost by Surreal now, who has to make his way in. Stomping and making so much noise. Cabby expects it. And Lyngby, they get their 8th on the board. Money just enough there for Endpoint to consider a full buy.
Yes, it's a 5-round gap though, so a force and loss here could certainly put their economy in a bit of a stranded situation, and Rouse just did that perfectly. Robin, it got unlucky, and you could see the idea that Endpoint went for. They sent that one player towards B, he was clearing it, and it was the author really just looking for any info just to get out of it. It's unfortunate that they just lose the Angels, and for Lyngby now up to 8, can certainly look to pull this back now. Endpoint did fully commit to the weapons. Crucial. Only on a Deagle, but lots of utility to really support what could be a play. Starting off on a standard default. Cabby for now. And support from Baird really to hold off what could be a B execution.
Endpoint playing this one much more passively. Twinix, that AWP is lethal over on that A-bomb site. You can see Surreal, he's baiting Cabby out. Please pop your head up, he's thinking, please. Let me take a shot at it. But Riles, he's gone aggressive with this M4A4. Very close position indeed. The Molotov makes Endpoint move around. Look at this! Twinix and Riles decimating the ramp. Surreal's back in tow, but yeah, preventing the bomb from being recovered. Perhaps it's taken down by Crucial, who's on low HP. And now they charge up towards that A bomb site to Endpoint. Typos is here. Bird from Sky is now rotated in towards the middle angle. And 30 seconds from Endpoint. They don't have enough time to commit to the other site unless they just start all out sprinting.
No, they're setting up the smokes. They want to look towards A. Lyngby used lots of utility really at the start to maybe try and kill off that 11 HP Crucial, but it didn't quite work out. The Molotov even better, and they're just going to flash themselves onto the side. Typos, both of them, and all 3 kills in fact go his way on the A hold. They get themselves 9. Endpoint now can't really look to force out, and it was this individual effort really from Rouse and the Orpha behind him which made it look so easy. Him and Twinix, they did lots of the hard work.
Unfortunately for Endpoint there, and brilliantly for Lyngby, that flash was so perfect. They flashed to allow 2 players through the smoke, and nobody spots Typos at all. No one can even see him. And he's just allowed to kill all 3 remaining Endpoint players over on that A site. Bailing Lyngby out and making this comeback certainly a potential in this map. Riles has found Mighty Max through the smoke again. He's been brilliant over on that A site, has Riles. Really aggressive towards the ramp, and it's earning him kills virtually every round.
Endpoint lurking and looking for something towards B, but it was only Surreal to dime. Died a little too soon to be joined by his team. Should have a lineup, should be easy for Cabby. And the second peak at least gives him the kill along with Bird. Tech 9, which can certainly find kills, but not in this instance. Endpoint's lead now cut to 3 rounds. After what was a certainly positive start to the half. Now they go up against weapons, but now they have weapons of their own. Crucial, only a smoke with his AWP.
And it weirdly, for Endpoint, the T side is supposed to be much stronger than their CT, but they've been floundering on the offense. Lyngby holding true. Ral's really the impact player towards the A ramp who's been doing so much, but it's more teamwork for Lyngby on the B side that gets it done because they just lock Endpoint into these stairs. They can't get out from this position. They're hemmed in. Farm animals, and Cabby, he just finds Surreal as well. Opening kill again in Lyngby's favor now as Endpoint seek a way to reply, but Twinix is up just waiting in the wings. Mighty Max is able to punish it though, and that could be an opportunity now on A.
Well, it's again Rouse who certainly stepped up to try and get damage done last round to now work his way on to the A hold, and he's made it look so easy so far. He got the 2 kills on side and stopped any slow push, but they respond Endpoint. They might look for a bomb one, but they again just push through the smoke. Lyngby have done that twice now, and it's worked out pretty convincingly.
I'm really confused as to that decision from Endpoint. Why do they choose to have the rifler plant there? The AWP has the bomb, and he throws it over to the rifler so that the AWP can hold on the defense. How are you supposed to do anything if more than one person comes through that smoke with an AWP watching guard in that scenario? You won't get anything done. That's a really perplexing decision to me at the end of that round. It wasn't the one that cost them, but still contributed to the defeat. It's the force from Endpoint now, but they're really running up against a brick wall on this T side. They've got no ideas towards this ramp or towards the B side. They're struggling immensely with the entry traps.
And this should be one of Endpoint's better maps. Ideally, they would be looking towards a round in the next gun round. But now though, Lyngby are trying to at least keep this difficult and a bit more pretentious. They at least have a advantage for Endpoint, and they're going to rush quickly towards B. They might just lose the time. I know Cabby's already here, and he's already got this angle, but there are smokes and utility set to pop in. 1 minute to go.
Cabby can't find the kill. He's spraying wildly. Typos has to actually bail him out there. He's so thankful that there is another rifler in the position, and Lyngby on the 1-on-2 retake. They clean it up. It's Typos with 4 kills who... We've commended Riles, who's only on 12. I bet when we take a look at how many kills Typos has, it's 24. Even looking to overtake Thomas on 28 at the moment. Him and Cabby just dominating the scoreboard. It's 5 in a row for the Lyngby Vikings as they continue this immense momentum.
After 6 in a row now, Cabby gets the defuse. They keep an AK and an AWP. And look at Typos' money going forward. Lyngby, they're now causing a bit of a concern to the Endpoint lineup. And Endpoint, look at the odds, in fact. They're now starting to fall back. Lyngby, they came into this half really behind and unexpected to win, but Endpoint still just about edged out. That's at least what Luke Bet, our partners, believe in. Now only
I don't know if I agree
gap.
at this point even. I would argue that things are in Lyngby's favour here. They have the momentum on the CT side to work with. Endpoint have looked lost realistically. The chance of them winning this map now is actually very significant on the CT side. Twinix again opens up with the opening kill. I'd love to know how many rounds of this map Endpoint have been able to find the first kill. I don't think it's any on the T side whatsoever. Unless, you know, you're counting those force buys when they charge with Tech 9s and Deagles. But in the full gun rounds, they're never able to get the opening kills. And it's allowed Lyngby to tie up this scoreline 13-13 now.
Well, Thomas, he had something like 23 kills going into the second half. Since then, he's only picked up a good 5. So it has been a struggle in the second half. Endpoint really feeding this now and feeding the pressure. And they're going to be trying to head towards a B site, which isn't entirely empty either. Cabby from this angle has certainly got damage done before. A little more focus on mid, and they actually give up the B site. The timing is there to give Endpoint maybe a bomb plant, but they've really got to find a kill. They've got to cement something. And now they have to play it safe. Bomb will at least go down.
Good nade onto Robin. The Molotov looks to slow this retake, but more are deployed actually. It is doing a great job of eating up this time. Surreal is playing a dangerous game so close to this smoke though. He backs away, perhaps just at the right time. Lyngby, they're still going to commit. They have the 4 men here, and they have someone eventually now who's arrived on the flank. That's what they were waiting for. It's Typos, the man of the match so far, gets the kill onto Surreal. 2v4 defense, time running out. Mighty Max lines up perhaps as Robin gets one Twinx tapping the bomb. Typos has to defend him. The time ticking down. The defuse being stuck, and Max can't get it done. Typos body blocks the damage and ties up the scoreline.
Oh, Typos was so low though. 26 kills he's on. Thomas just about edges him out. But Lyngby now tie up this match. They've now put Endpoint in a position where really they could be forced out of this series. Lyngby, it felt like a unfortunate performance on train. They didn't quite look too good in that second half, but they've got the momentum and they've now got a bit more confidence coming out for them. Thus too is where we end up on.
Twinx again with the opening kill. Endpoint unable to get anything done at the start of the rounds, and that really sums up all of their problems. Every round, in the first 30 seconds, they've run somebody straight into a Lyngby crosshair and just lost the man advantage immediately. It's really rough for them. They cannot get anything done. Even when they get into the site, when they get the plants, they're not aware that there could be flanks coming through. They're not aware of the tactics that Lyngby are going with. Surreal, he's found 2 kills on the B side. This is the chance now. Endpoint, if they were ever to convert around on this T side, this is the opportunity, but the bomb is so far away.
Well, Crucial, in fact, just doubles up, gets the kill towards then. All of a sudden, Typos gets deleted. Endpoint, for the first time in quite a while, now come off better. I think that's the first round they get in around 7 or 8, so now can stand strong. And it comes down to a little bit of a luck from one individual who stood out on the train, also Surreal. Oh, they were crisp headshots. And when you combine that with that kill on A, that was perfect. And now Endpoint, we were slating them, but now they need 2 to close out the series.
Realistically, Louis, they only need 1. Look at that Lyngby economy. They don't have loss bonus built up. If they lose this round, it's going to be a forced in the next. And Surreal, this time, he's the one who found the opening kill onto Twinx, but Bird from Sky is allowed to reply. Surreal in kind, however, onto Cabby, and Robin onto Bird. Finally, Endpoint starting to wake up on this T side. The B-bomb side under their control again, as Surreal has made his way out. Typos takes the jump, but now he's been spotted. As the last player left alive, he's taken out. Map point to Endpoint. It's taken them the entire half to wake up. The opportunity for Lyngby to come back and take the advantage, but at the last possible moment, Endpoint stand tall and have the opportunity to close it out in regulation.
Well, we're going to go back to a good old force by Lyngby. I don't want to count them out of this quite yet. It shouldn't be a case that they come off winners in this, but do you remember the amount of forces and ecos we saw certainly coming off in either side's way?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you, the same could happen here, so let's go for some A progression. Rouse might look for Crucial. A dangerous angle through the smoke. At least comes off better. Leaves only 14 kills so far on Rouse, and look at Surreal. Completely reading this, completely playing it safe. Endpoint have the opening, and now Lyngby have to respond.
They do, but they can't. Robin gets Bird from Sky. And Lyngby, it would be so heartbreaking if they fell apart now. They did all the heavy lifting in the comeback. And just 2 rounds. That's really going to be what forces them out of this match. Typos, he's gotten a deagle kill. Now he has an AK, and the nade isn't deep enough to take him out. He can definitely still be dangerous, but the wallbang headshot, it lands from Robin. The game sense is good. Twinx and Cabby, Deagle and MP9 to save Lyngby's hopes of staying in this cup.
Oh, goodbye Twinx. The smoke goes out. Endpoint still want to commit to this as if it's a standard round. The MP9 up close will at least do some damage. There is an AK, and there's certainly a chance that he can win this, but overwhelmed by players in the end. Finally, Endpoint wake up and find the win. 2-0 here